Hey everyone, it's Maria here, back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about some makeup hacks and tips that are going to allow you to get ready in seconds. Remember that this look that I'm doing is personalized to me. You can add or cut out any products that do not serve you or you don't use, and just stick to the stuff that makes you feel good and allows you to get a kind of classic, natural daytime look that is timeless. I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to create a simple look, what I think would help your mindset when you are looking to apply something quickly. We put a lot of emphasis on the products, and I'll give you a little hint that is one of the tips, all right? So if you want to see how I created this simple makeup look that I was able to do in just minutes, talking to you about the products does not count. All right, so let's get to it. Okay, so my first tip for you today on simplifying a makeup routine would be to use less products. Having a cluttered cabinet and a cluttered drawer where you keep all your stuff is not going to really help you narrow it down and use less products. So you have to start with a small collection of things. And what I would recommend is, choose a complexion product, choose a color product that's going to add color to the cheeks and lips, a mascara, a bit of brow, and boom, you're done. So having a minimalist collection, I'm going to link my video here for you. I've done that before, will really help you not just use less, but to acquire less, because you're going to need less products. So the first thing I would start out with, after you've done your skincare and all that, would be to choose a complexion product. Now, whether you have a tinted moisturizer or you have a full foundation, doesn't matter as long as you're using it up. If you want to have a lighter complexion product and you have a foundation already on hand, please don't throw it out. Don't go and buy a tinted moisturizer. You can work with this, and when it's done, you can go on to a tinted moisturizer. The tinted moisturizers by Pure Nata are lovely. I carry these in my makeup kit, and this is what I do all my makeup appointments with, whether it's a photo shoot, for branding, lifestyle. And I use these on myself. The reason is that if you need more coverage, you can build up a product like this. Now, if you're starting out with a fuller foundation, so I'm going to, use the liquid, the Smooth and Conceal Liquid Foundation here in the shade Buff. This is a 20N, N stands for neutral. And I'm going to show you how to make it into your own tinted moisturizer. So although these are great and you can, build up the coverage with, a pressed foundation powder, or you can build up the coverage with a bit of concealer, only when you need it. If you do have a full coverage foundation, most people think that it's so hard to go the opposite way, but it's not. So all you're going to need the foundation brush. These are great from Pure Nata. They're quite inexpensive, synthetic bristles, super soft, and bamboo handles. So I'm going to link all of these below for you. But all you need to do is take your, full coverage foundation. You can, cut it in with your moisturizer. For this, I would use a basic moisturizer. Don't choose something that has actives in it. It's really difficult when you start mixing a bunch of stuff, if it doesn't work out, to kind of narrow it down and understand what it was that didn't work. So just a basic moisturizer. It doesn't need to have, vitamin C. And please don't cut your SPF. I've mentioned this in other videos. So just a basic moisturizer. So that's number one. You can cut it with that. And, you can take a face oil, your favorite face oil. This one is the Argan Frankincense by Helena Lane. And for, using less products, I guess this is how you're going to do it. Okay, that's my number one tip. As I show you how to do my application, I will squirt a tiny bit of product, the foundation product, on my hand. And then I'm going to add a couple of drops of this face oil. I'm going to mix it together on my hand. So this helps kind of turn it into like a light, dewy, almost like an oil foundation here. All right. So I'm going to do that, mix it around, put the excess on here. And then I'm going to go in with my brush. I'm going to completely saturate it so all the product is gone. It's on the bristles. And then I'm just going to go and give myself a really light application. I'm going to stay away from the eyes for this one because I did use an oil. And, if you have troubles for your makeup to stay around the eye area, you can avoid that. But this is going to be such a quick application. And, I am chatting about things. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but I want you to see how quick it is to just do an application like this. And I'll tell you the number of products that we've used at the end, all right? This is it. I'm shooting in front of the window as always. This is my skin, no lights, no special lights, nothing softening here, and no light on, this camera either. I am propping up my phone on a ring light, but the light is not on, all right? Now, if you don't have dark circles like mine, you might not need a concealer, but you can see how much discoloration there is. This is something that's hereditary and I've had my whole life. There's been some interesting comments on the video that I did revealing my skin without any filters or lighting, about the discoloration. But if it's always been there, there's no point spending, tons of money on eye creams and stuff like that. It's not gonna just go away. So let's bring in a concealer, all right? So this is the Cream Concealer by Nada. There you go. That's in the shade Light. And this product needs to be warmed up a little bit. So I want to show you that after you start kind of rubbing it into the skin, it turns into this beautiful cream. At that point, the stick is warmed up. You can take it straight into your eye area, okay, and push it in. Or if you want, after you've warmed it up, right, you can take it from your hand. You can take this product here and start applying it where you want it, whether you have, a bit of discoloration on your chin, okay, or your eyelids. This way you're controlling the product. But a lot of these fully natural stick concealers will not apply straight from the tube. I made that mistake when I first got this product. Don't make the same mistake. Only roll up a tiny bit and then warm it up gently on the back of your hand. After you've done that, the product is ready to go on, okay? For this easy makeup application, I'm not gonna do an eyeshadow. Like you could if you want to, but on most days I don't. It is really easy to just apply a single shade of eyeshadow. But the biggest difference for me is not going to be whether I put eyeshadow or not. It's going to be whether I covered the discoloration, so I look less tired, and where I have to add a little bit of color on my face so I can kind of look polished and put together. So now that we have the concealer in the areas that we wanted, you need to go in and set it. Now you might have a loose powder on hand. That's great. I think everybody needs a bit of powder, although I'm not going to apply it everywhere. And I don't recommend for mature skin to apply the powder everywhere. You still need to have one, all right? And I also love this compact here. It's in the shade Light. And I'm just going to go in with the powder brush. Now, if you wanted to boost this coverage here, right? You wanted to boost the coverage of this light makeup application, the light foundation. This pressed foundation product is one way to do that. So my second tip for you, my friends, is to use multi-purpose products, okay? So I'm gonna do that with a few other products from, the rest of the application. But this here, although it's a foundation, depending on the brush that you apply it with, it can be also a powder. So you can take a tiny bit with a looser brush, and you are going to go in and set this eye area, right, where we did the concealer. If you like a dewy look, this is how far you're going, only the eye. You're not going to make, the rest of the face flat. You can see it has like a really nice sheen to it right now, which makes it look healthy and hydrated. But we do want the concealer to stay in place. We don't want it to crease. And this foundation product is perfect for that. So if you apply it with a flat top brush, if you keep going and add a few layers, it's definitely going to add extra coverage to the rest of your makeup. But this is kind of how you keep everything light and dewy looking. All right, so you only apply it where you have to. Again, for the concealer and the pressed refillable foundation compact here, I'm using the shade Light. So let's move on to brow. My brows are not so bad. There is quite a lot of hair there, but they're still quite fair. You see that they are really light, although they do have a nice shape. So I want to go in with the Plume pomade. This is in the Ashy Daybreak. This product, can you see? Is just coming down to the bottom. I swear I've been using it for at least 2 years. It has to be 2 years. I don't want to say maybe a little bit longer than that, but this product does not run out because you need such a small amount. So I'm picking up a tiny bit with their brush, their angle brush, and I'm just going to go in and kind of fill in the sparse areas. Nobody's brows grow super evenly. I mean, if yours does, I am jealous, and amazing for you. So you might not need to do this step, which means that you can be ready even faster. So I'm just adding a tiny bit, but you already see how light-handed I was and what a difference it makes to the other brow. Just kind of like brush it through. All right, I think that's pretty good. Okay, so there goes the brows. Now, talking about multi-purpose products, if you wanted to use this pomade with the angle brush and take it a tiny bit like into the lashes here, depending on what shade you use, right? You can go in there and just like darken the base a little bit. These products by Plume also contain the eyebrow and lash growth factors. That's why the company started out. It was to promote growth. They have a lovely eyelash serum that I use periodically. But yeah, you could make a tiny bit of line if you wanted, as long as the shade that you're choosing is dark enough. So let's move in with mascara. I'm using the Pure Nata Natural Mascara in the shade Black. I've talked about this mascara in other videos. Super affordable. It's wonderful. It stays on. I mean, it's not going to stay on if you're, crying waterfalls, but for, a few tears or, when it's raining in warmer weather, I find that this lasts very, very well. So we're going to go in here, do the trick I've shown in other videos where you wiggle the brush at the root. And then this helps kind of like build up that top waterline. Okay, and now we're coming to the funnest part, which is the color. Now, color can be added on the cheeks and the lips with the same product, as long as it's hydrating enough to go to both places. I have some lip and cheek rouges in the store. They're a little bit more matte, a little bit more dry. So you really have to take care of your, your lip hydration before you apply those. But recently, I've brought in these Artifact lip and cheek balms here. These are fantastic, very nice and creamy. They will help you get ready in seconds. And they're nice and hydrating enough to add to the lips. And that's kind of what I like. The only way to do less products is, of course, to use less, buy less, but it's also to choose the right products. And these have to be multi-purpose products. That's the only thing that's going to allow you to still have, your beautiful makeup look, but also cut back. So the shade that I used here is Sailing School. Okay, and these are the Artifact lip and cheek rouges. Now I wanted to show you a different option. Tin Feather has these beautiful lip oils. Now a lip oil is super hydrating. It's not sticky, it's not thick. It's just like, you know how I mix the oil in the foundation? It's kind of like that. So this shade here is Royal. It's not far off from Sailing School, but I want to show you that sometimes what I do is when I apply a product like this to the lips, right? And how much you apply and how, you push and how you spread it depends on how dark you want the look to be, right? And what I love about these is that they are super hydrating, and why not dot couple little drops? And they're pigmented enough, right, to give you a nice dewy kind of cream blush. So again, this is not a multi-purpose product. But there's no rule anywhere that says don't use your lip gloss on your cheeks. Now, if the lip gloss is sticky, tacky, and too thick, full of silicones, you're not going to want to do that. It's not going to feel so nice. However, with a clean product like this, a natural product like this, that, contains it's like castor oil, jojoba, candelilla wax, rosehip oil, sea buckthorn, a lot of really nice oils, right? The reason why it feels weightless like that, it's kind of like how we added the oil in that foundation and it made it really sheer and weightless. All right, that is it, my friends. So whether, if you don't like glosses, if you're not into the liquid, lip products, into the liquid blush like that, then I would recommend these artifact sticks. They are available in my shop in various shades. They're beautiful, quite inexpensive. The fact that, because of the fact that you're getting actually two products, okay? They go on beautifully. They have lots of pigment. If you're not a lipstick person, or even if you are a lipstick person and you want to switch over to something like this, they are amazing. So again, you can look flawless like this. This, if we were not chatting, I know I always have so much to say about these products, but if we were not chatting, the correction, mascara, a bit of brow, and some color on the lip and cheek should seriously not take you more than like 6 to 8 minutes tops, okay? And that's really important in the daytime when you are, running out the door and have all these different things to do, all right? If makeup tends to move on you, like no matter what you apply, let's say you've tried different brands and everything seems to shift, I would recommend finishing off with a little bit of a setting spray. And just make sure you apply enough, and you have to let it dry. And my third tip for you to be able to create this like super quick, everyday makeup look is to ignore short-lived trends. Short-lived trends in the beauty industry, fashion industry, all they do is make us buy more stuff. Because when you see a new product, you're like, oh, wow, like look what it can do. Like, right? Look what it can do. I mean, I don't know. Is it doing your makeup? No, it's not. You're still going to have to do this type of thing. This is quite minimal. I mean, from this, you can build on if you have the time and the inclination. But the trends that are out there are just to get you to buy more products. It's the same with fashion. The hemline goes up, the hemline comes down. The pant legs get narrow, the pant legs get wider, right? So ignore those fads. I mean, like, would this look not be in 5 years? Like, I don't think so. This is quite natural. It just plays on my features. And I think that if you found the right products to work with, you just enhance your own features. Now, if your face is changing drastically because of weight loss, because of aging, you can book a consultation with me. I don't like, my clients wasting money on products that might not work. And this is the reason why my shop offers samples, and we also offer the services, because I can have a one-on-one on video with you and help you buy the stuff that's going to work for you. It's going to work for your lifestyle. It's going to work for your coloring. I understand not everyone looks like this. However, by having that kind of, touching base like that is very helpful because it saves you money in the long run. All right. So just to summarize again, would be to use less products, buy less, so you don't feel like you need all that. When you buy less, you're going to use less. Try to choose some multi-purpose products and cut corners where you can. And then just stay true to what you like, complement your own features, ignore the fads that are going to make you buy more product. And then, the next year it's going to be out and done, and you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, that's out of style now. All right. Don't go down that rabbit hole, my friends. All right. So for this look, we used 6 products. That doesn't count the setting spray or the oil. Now, if because if you have a BB cream or a light foundation, you don't need to do the oil. So 6 makeup products, right, to do this entire look. Those are your key staples. Keep them close, keep them handy, keep them well stocked and, fresh, right? So make sure you replace the mascara, make sure you replace, your lip gloss, make sure that you replace the brushes when it comes time, or take care of them and wash them. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I would appreciate any feedback. Let me know what you liked about this look and if you would replicate it at home. Hit the little subscribe button if you want to see my next videos, and turn on the little notification bell. And if you like this video and you think you're going to replicate it or pass it on to a friend, give it a thumbs up. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you in the next one.